shortcut keys. This is the advanced form of shortcut keys. I covered shortcut keys in one of the previous videos, but what I want to do is show you something that will change that. Under here, I have the script editor, okay? And I have echo all commands on here. You see me go all the way to modify center pivot a lot, okay? Now, modify center pivot is under modify, then center pivot. Okay, so let's just go dog on the keyboard and move this over and clear all history. And then modify center pivot. There's my center pivot command right there. So I copy this over and I go into the settings and preferences hotkey editor, and let's do a search for this. There it is. Modify center pivot is in the modify. So if you did not know where to look, you could always use this to find it. Okay, so now if I go to modify, there is modify center pivot, and I have it set to Command A. So that's very handy to have that set to some kind of hotkey. It doesn't have to be Command A, it can be anything, but that's one thing I do all the time is that. Another thing that's really handy is maybe the transform component. It's the different variation of transforming other than the scale tool. So, you know, if I wanted that on a hotkey, I would have to know that edit transform component. So that's under edit mesh. Transform component, and I could set that to something. I use it so often that I would probably assign it to the W key. That would be underwriting WER, which is scale, move, and rotate. So I would probably add this to T. That way it's so close to WER. And it says you cannot do that. If you want to override it, you can, but T is something else. So, you know, I could always hit Command T. Alright, so now if I go to the face, I have this scale tool, which is nice. But if I hit Command T, I have this type of scale tool, which now I can move and scale. Okay, real nice. So those are hotkeys and how to find them in your list. You can make new ones too. You just got to be very careful when you make a hotkey, because once you do create a hotkey, it says edit and delete, but you really can't edit and delete them. So be very careful. All you do is have to find a category file, add a new one, and then you would list out the name, the description, and the description is when I mouse over something, you see in the bottom left hand corner where it says split selected edge ring. That's the description. And this is the category it fits in. So I can add something to something as far as a category, or I can use the uncategorized feature, which is real nice. That way it doesn't bunch up too much as far as your categories. Later on down the road you might miss a hotkey. Where's that at? You can check in one category and there it is. Same with the user. Maybe keep them in the user command. So let's see here. Maybe here's hotkey editor. So let's have a hotkey for hotkey editor. Hotkeys brings up and I have to put the colon or semicolon afterwards. And then I hit accept. Notice the edit and delete feature. They work now. They'll work as long as you have it under user. If you have it under something else, it will not allow you to edit the commands already within Maya. So now I can add a modifier to that. Command H for hotkeys. And it says it is assigned to nothing. Okay. There we go. I can hit Command H and it brings up Finder. Okay. Weird. So Command H might be a system command, and that's why I'm talking about be very careful what you add as far as a hotkey. Always make sure you put it in users, because if you do not, you will not be able to edit it, and it could plague you. So now I can assign this to a new one. So maybe Command Control H. Okay. And I can remove that previous one. So Command Control H. There we go. Hotkey editor. Finally. Alright, so that's how to add custom hotkeys and very hard to assign hotkeys within Maya. So take the time, put in some hotkeys, and you'll be surprised on how fast your workflow improves.